Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. This is your boy vipershady with a brand new vlog. So in this video I'm gonna be basically talking about whether you should buy XPulse 210 or XPulse 200. Okay, so both of these bikes are there in the market. So Hero Motorcorp is doing a very good job by not discontinuing the XPulse 200. I'm gonna be doing the full comparison vlog of both of these bikes. At the end of the video I'll let you know that after riding in the rough road and on road, okay, so both the bikes side by side, comparing the engine specification and ride review, okay, comparing the ride review and talking about, you know, who's for whom this bike is and for who this bike is, whether you should buy this XPulse 210 or whether you should buy the XPulse 200. So without further ado, let's get into the video. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please go and like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, okay. Okay guys, so this is the XPulse 200 and this is the XPulse 210. So most of the people, you know, they are confused whether they want to buy the XPulse 200 or the XPulse 210. So I'm gonna do some clarification to everyone out here. All right, so we have the XPulse 200 and this is 199.6 cc oil cooled 2-valve single cylinder engine. Yes, this is 2-valve, but you know, there's another 4-valve also, which is like almost similar to this one only, but inside the engine there will be 4-valve and that gives a better more performance, but it's the same engine. So I'm going to be comparing with this one, okay, because this is the only bike available out here. So this bike has max power 18.1 bhp at 8000 rpm, max torque is 17.1 nm at 6500 rpm. So we're going to see, you know, how this power difference and the torque difference matters in the real world. And also we'll talk about this bike as a 5-speed gearbox. This bike has a 6-speed gearbox, but both the bike has 220 mm ground clearance. The seat height is a little lower on this bike, which is 823, and this has like 830. Okay, this has the LCD display, this has the, you know, TFT display, and there are other features difference. This bike has the 20.7 Nm torque and that has like 17.1 Nm torque, and max power at 9250. That bike's get its max power at the 8000 rpm. It has a more weight, okay, which weighs around 168 kg. Okay, so let's hear the exhaust note. Crazy bro, crazy, because this is Acra Pro V, okay, but this is not a full system. So, and then we're going to hear the exhaust note of XPulse 210 as well. This is the stock silencer. I haven't done any modification on the exhaust note. So here you go. So yeah, the fuel pump is on and I should be on a neutral first. Okay, so you guys ready to hear the exhaust note? Quite good, but comparing to the XPulse 200, like, that's a modified, so this one is not that better. So anyways, it depends on the choice. You guys can rewind and you know, watch this thing if you want. I'm gonna ride the XPulse 200, okay. I'm not riding XPulse 210 for now, so I'm riding XPulse 200 just to see how this bike is, okay, if it's really capable or not comparing to that. So this is like going to be the ride review comparison. So I'm already in the rough patch, a short rough patch. So when I get on a bike, I can feel that the handlebars are a little bit closer. And let me start the engine. Okay, there's a grunt and the exhaust is Acra. Okay, here I go, man. There's a power. Wow, there's a power, man. Lot of torque. It feels like on the rough road it's very easy to handle this bike. In the rough road it's easy, man. It's moving like flawlessly, bro. Crazy. So I'll go a little highway ride. Running video is also great. Okay, no power lag. Wow. Wow, man. This bike is much easier. Okay. Okay, the braking is good, braking feels good. See the turning radius, much less weight. No, that's why it's much easy even on the rough road. If you're lean, if you're weak, this bike is capable. If you're a bit shorter, this bike is capable. Wow, XPulse baby 200. It has a thrill being BS4 and the Acra, which is here. It's just amazing, and the turning radius and everything is so great. So this is a great choice of bike for people who are at the remote areas. Wow. Incredible, man. Such easy to control, such easy motorcycle to control, very easy. It has a lot of power for trail ride. This is still the most capable motorcycle, man. But for the highways and for carrying the luggage, this might be a problem. But due to exhaust, Acra, the mileage must have gone down. Very easy motorcycle, good to handle. Very easy. Wow. So this bike, comparing with the XPulse 200, it is little heavy, but it's good. That weight is good in the highway. And then also this bike is very easy to maneuver. Alright, and it has a good running radius. The suspensions are so great. It has the 3 features, okay: road, trail and off-road, and these are a very good riding modes which this bike has. And it has the dual channel ABS, and it's more fuel efficient. Okay, it's more refined. It's a Karishma engine but tuned in a different way, and it has a lot of power and torque. So if you are a person who likes to have the features, who likes to have a modern bike, if you want to keep it for a little longer, because this feature will be there, this can be very good. And if you want to do hill ride, adventure ride or daily commuting, this bike is very much capable. Alright, and comparing with the 200 4V, like, this is much more capable, much taller, and nice to look at, bulky. Okay, I never liked the XPulse 200 before, but I like this motorcycle, so this means this bike has a really good look. And but it's new, so if you're afraid about the reliability and all, you can wait for a few years. You can get the XPulse when it gets much better, but this one's also very good, and it's very good on this kind of trail. So XPulse, this one is much refined, okay, comparing with that of 200, and it has a lot of torque, enough torque and power. I'm taking the XPulse 210 first. All right. Okay. Oh. Okay. I'll bring 200 now. So I'll go via this. Okay. So the river volume is quite high. Okay. But the ground clearance of both motorcycle is almost cool. So XPulse being 168 kg. So I was slipping over the rocks, but it was crawling, man. And what could be more extreme than this river crossing? baby, right? So I thought of taking my bike from here, but this one's risky. It's quite old. That's why I didn't get it from here. It's not that heavy, but it's not that light as well. But lighter than the XPulse 210. God, much lighter. This is much lighter for this extreme off-roading. Oh God. For extreme off-roading, this is a little better. Okay, because 200 is much lighter. Okay, so this is like more of a real life off-roader, but this can also do. It's not that it can't, it's just that this motorcycle is exactly much lighter, because for me this was much easier than the XPulse 210, a little bit easier on it. Pros and cons of this motorcycle. So if you're in Bhutan, okay, so if you need this motorcycle, the pros of this bike is that, you know, lightweight means easier to handle on narrow mountain track, dirt scratches, and when you have a, you know, camera rig pinion. So even if you have a camera rig, you know, like lean pinion, then that bike is gonna be great. And it has still the good ground clearance with 21-inch front wheel, making like descent on the rough terrain. And it has a simpler engine, and which means there are less features and less headache, and it is a decent value for money motorcycle. And if I talk about the cons of this motorcycle, so less power and torque definitely comparing to this one. And in the high altitude like in Bhutan, the engine might feel, you know, struggling when loaded comparing to this motorcycle. And then at the higher speed, you know, to overtake comparing to this motorcycle, this will be a little bit lagging. And you know, it has fewer premium features like the advanced, you know, cooling system, you know, and then other features on this bike. And you know, if you're carrying the heavy pillion or luggage, this bike will be better comparing to this one, because you know, this like dual purpose motorcycle. I mean, it has the power, the top speed and everything that's there. So if I talk about the cons, you know, heavy weight, but we don't feel heavier, but comparing to that, yeah, a little heavyweight. And then higher purchase cost and maintenance cost definitely, and more complex engine features, you know, at a remote place. And I think this is still gonna be an issue. Right now it's still an issue because I'm not getting any parts. So that bike is already there, so parts availability is great. And so this is it about the comparison, power, rake and all. So if I give you the look is something like this. It has the updated, you know, headlight and then instrument cluster, very new, all LED, you know, like bulb. But in this also, you know, new version, the LED is there, and it has the brand new, you know, to pull your motorcycle if it gets stuck. And you have like the 21-inch, you know, travel suspension, and ground clearance is same, but then the link suspension out there is really awesome. And the ground, if you're really short, then you can get this motorcycle. This is fitted with the Acropovic, the all new liquid cooled engine, okay, which it cools itself due at sea. And this is like air cooled engine. So liquid cooled engines are basically better, more complex, but basically better for the adventure touring. If you are a person who's really away from the technology, okay, away from technology, and if you're at the village, if you're lean, thin, and if you do more of off-roading, okay, then get this motorcycle. All right, if you are at the city, okay, if you are at a little bit of, you know, like feature lover, and if you need that, you know, feature, and if you need a motorcycle for long touring and a little more power, you know, and a little more features and 3 riding modes, then yes, you can get this motorcycle.
मैं हमेशा कहता था कि मैं अपनी जिंदगी की हर एक पल का मजा उठाना चाहता हूं, और मैं सोचता हूं इसी वजह से हम भाई हैं, क्योंकि तुम भी यही सोचते हो।